Good evening and welcome to my How Healthy Are You weekly conference call. My name is Dr. Thomas Brewer. I'm a PhD chemist, and this evening I'm going to begin the call with a little talk on foods that are good for our brain health. So that would be our cognitive ability, our reaction time, improved reasoning, so things like that. Foods that will help your brain. So a lot of studies have been done on foods that would help people in the early stages of Alzheimer's. And so what these people experience is cognitive decline. They just lose the ability to think clearly. So the belief was that various polyphenols and antioxidants that are found in lots of fruits and vegetables would be helpful. Years ago, a study was done and funded by Welch's, and Welch makes grape juice. So they funded a study to see if grape juice would improve people's verbal learning or other cognitive skills. And they found that there was this significant increase in verbal learning and in less cognitive decline. Well, since the study was funded by Welch's, who makes grape juice, and the study was just for grape juice, other studies were then done just to see what grapes would do and what other fruits would do, like berries and nuts. And in the other cases, the results were confirmed that foods like whole berries, whole nuts, and whole grapes showed an improvement in people's reasoning ability and reaction time. When the studies were tried to be repeated for the grapes and grape juice, well, the grape juice did not work. It was the whole grape that was shown to improve people's verbal learning and reduction of cognitive skills. It turns out that walnuts, for instance, improve our decision making, and we've heard about things like this a long time. We've always been told to eat fruits and vegetables and nuts, and we're constantly told that nuts such as walnuts and almonds improve your decision making and help the brain and help you think better and reduce the chance for Alzheimer's and things like that. And those studies were found to be correct, and those results were repeatable. So as we age, the blood flow in our brain decreases. And what we really need is something called nitric oxide. And this is a gas, and this is something the body makes from nitrate-rich vegetables. And I've talked about this in the past, and I've told people about eating beets. And if you don't eat beets, I even have a product that's called Explode, and it's based on beets and other high nitrate rich vegetables. So even cocoa, with the flavonols that are in cocoa, show similar improvements in people's brain health. And we've talked about that in the past, too, about the importance of eating unsweetened cocoa. Now, it doesn't taste so good, so you usually mix it in with other foods, but the consumption of cocoa has been proven to be very beneficial to our health and beneficial to our brains. So, again, these studies would test mental performance and reaction time. And the latest studies are showing that when you combine these nitrate-rich fruits and vegetables with exercise, the performance is even better, and our brains get healthier. And none of this should come as a surprise in any way, because these are the things we're all told to do anyway. We're told to eat fruits and vegetables and nuts. We're told to exercise. It seems to me that what we're seeing in these scientific studies is proof for things that our parents told us to do and things that we would almost consider common sense. But now we have some scientific evidence that shows eating fruits and vegetables, nuts, and exercising actually does improve our brains in addition to our overall health. So that's what I wanted to start the call off with. I just got back from a trip to Northern California. I was in Oakland and San Francisco, and I've got another trip coming up in May for sure. That's the trip to Pennsylvania, but I do need to get some more appointments, or I'll have to be making some changes to the May trip. Before then, there's a possibility I'll have another trip in March, again back in Northern California. Another thing I wanted to mention is this coronavirus. I had written about this, I think 3 weeks ago. It turned out about 5 days or a week before it really started hitting the headlines. And I had learned about it early on and wrote about it in the newsletter and suggested your only defense from this and really any virus is a well-functioning immune system. So big and active white blood cells is your best defense from anything that's going to be coming around to get you. And that's what these viruses are, and they really jump from person to person. So if you don't have big, active white blood cells, I strongly suggest you take 3 Steromax every day about 30 minutes before your first meal of the day. And that will allow your white blood cells to grow, which makes them strong, and you'll get a lot more internal movement, which increases your white blood cell activity. And that combination will fight off any virus, and you won't get sick. Okay, so I'm going to open up the call to questions. So I'll come off lecture mode. And do we have any questions or comments this evening? Nobody? Okay. Yes.
Would it be
somebody?
good to just take Steromax, just like 1 capsule a day, just to keep you strong?
Yeah, that's a good question. I recommend taking 1 Steromax a day when we're outside outside of the cold and flu season as a maintenance. Right now, I do not recommend that.
Okay.
But soon, yes, I would recommend that. It's much better than nothing. And once you get your white blood cells big and active, it's a lot easier to maintain that activity than to get it started. It also depends on how many people you come in contact with throughout the day. So a school teacher is exposed to a lot of different families on a daily basis, or somebody that works in any public location, versus someone in a small office where you're only in contact with a few people. Mm-hmm. So that also is a factor on how much protection you need. Some people have beautiful looking white blood cells and they don't take anything. And so they're very fortunate, and they just have genetically great immune systems. And some people don't. The best way to determine that is to have your blood looked at under a microscope so you can see with your own eyes what your red blood cells and your white blood cells look like.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I need to put an order in.
Okay, just call me back after the call, mm-hmm. and if I can't pick up, just leave a message.
So you think this coronavirus is going to just really sweep over?
Yes, and I mentioned it, like I said, about a few days before it started being in the news. It really wasn't in the news 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. But it's just a bigger and bigger thing. And, mm-hmm. of course, there's no vaccine. And we had a similar issue with something called SARS. It was another virus. Mm-hmm. We've had I don't remember all the names. Something was a chicken flu or virus. So, and this is similar to Lyme, which is a bacteria, not a virus, but it's the same concept. You've got to keep your immune system very strong and very active so that you can protect yourself naturally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what are your dates again for coming in May? What?
Starting May 29th, so 29th, 30th, 31st, and June 1st. It's a Friday, Saturday, Monday. Okay. Starting Friday the 29th. Okay. So Saturday's the 30th, and then Monday's the 1st of June. Okay. But yeah, right now I don't have enough slots filled to justify the trip, so I'll have to be making a decision in a few weeks. Okay. Whether to keep that trip.
Well, pass the word.
It's scheduled. It's planned.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Do we have any other questions? Okay. I'll close out the call, and thank you for being on this call, and I will be doing another conference call next Monday at the same time. Until then, have a safe and healthy evening. Good night, everybody.
Good night.